There are seasons in everything. Times of expansion, times of pause. The economy is no different. It's not a straight line climbing upward forever. It moves in cycles, accelerating at times, easing off at others. And in the United States, the largest economy in the world, those cycles are often more visible, more dramatic, and more consequential than anywhere else. What's fascinating is this. During some of the darkest periods in American economic history, there were individuals quietly building massive fortunes. And at the very peak of Wall Street's brightest booms, others lost everything. So the issue isn't whether the economy is good or bad. The real question is, do you understand where you are in the cycle? Successful people don't get rich because they're lucky. They get rich because they recognize signals most people ignore. Today, we're going to break down those signals, the signs that the U.S. market economy may be slowing, cooling off, and potentially moving closer to a period of recession. The goal isn't to scare you. The goal is to help you stay ahead of it. Before we talk about recession, we need to understand one basic truth. The U.S. economy runs in cycles. A typical cycle moves through 4 stages: expansion. Businesses grow and hire aggressively. The stock market rises. People feel confident borrowing money to buy homes and cars. Money seems easy to make. Peak. On the surface, everything still looks strong, but underneath, pressure starts building. Inflation rises, prices climb. The Federal Reserve begins raising interest rates to cool the economy down. Contraction. Businesses become cautious, hiring slows, financial markets grow volatile, consumers start cutting back on spending. Recovery. After hitting bottom, the economy gradually stabilizes and a new cycle begins. Look back at the period leading up to the 2008 financial crisis. The housing market was overheating, credit was loose, asset prices were rising out of control. Then the bubble burst. Lehman Brothers collapsed. The S&P 500 fell by more than 50%. America officially entered the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. But what happened next? The market recovered, and those who stayed calm during the darkest moment ended up with the greatest opportunity. It may sound technical, but it's actually very simple. Under normal conditions, the 10-year U.S. government bond yields more than the 2-year bond. If you're locking up your money for a longer period of time, you expect to be paid more interest. That's basic logic. But when the 2-year yield rises above the 10-year yield, it's called an inverted yield curve. Why does that matter? When large institutional investors believe the economic outlook is weakening, they move their money into long-term government bonds as a safe haven. As demand for those long-term bonds increases, their prices go up and their yields go down. That's how the curve flips. Historically, most U.S. recessions over the past 50 years have been preceded by this signal. It doesn't tell you the exact day a crisis will begin, but it's like watching the sky change color before a storm rolls in. When the economy's strong, businesses hire aggressively. Unemployment stays low. Wages rise. But when growth begins to slow, the first thing companies do isn't lay people off, it's freeze hiring. Layoffs usually come later. There's a well-known rule called the Sahm rule, proposed by economist Claudia Sahm. It states that when the unemployment rate rises by about 0.5 percentage points above its low from the previous year, the economy is likely already in a recession. Companies don't like laying people off. Hiring and training are expensive. If businesses are forced to cut jobs, it usually means conditions have genuinely deteriorated. You don't need to read complicated economic reports. If you start hearing more people say they're struggling to find work, if more companies announce restructurings and workforce reductions, that's a signal. In the United States, household spending makes up nearly 70% of GDP. When people feel confident, they shop, they travel, they renovate their homes, they upgrade their cars. Spending flows naturally. But when uncertainty creeps in, people hold on to their cash, and that's when the cycle begins. Consumers spend less, businesses see slower sales, production gets cut, layoffs follow,
Incomes decline, consumers become even more cautious. A drop in consumer confidence isn't just a bad headline, it's the start of a chain reaction.
Financial markets react faster than the real economy. When investors expect corporate profits to decline, stocks get sold off. The CBOE Volatility Index, often called the Fear Index, spikes when panic hits the market. The stock market isn't always right, but it often moves months before the broader economy does. And here's the heavier part. When banks tighten lending standards, money stops flowing. Businesses can't borrow to expand. Families struggle to qualify for mortgages. Growth slows not because opportunity disappears, but because credit does. The spread between high-risk corporate bonds and U.S. Treasuries widens. That gap signals rising doubt about companies' ability to repay their debt. When credit freezes, economic growth becomes extremely difficult. First things first, don't panic. Recessions aren't abnormal. They're part of the cycle. The United States has lived through the Great Depression, the oil crisis, the dot-com bubble, the 2008 financial crisis, and the 2020 pandemic. Yet, over the long term, the broader trend has still been upward. The goal isn't to avoid recessions entirely. The real question is, what position are you in when one hits? Those who prepare well tend to avoid putting all their assets in one place, maintain a cash buffer, keep debt under control, and refuse to make decisions in a state of panic. Cash during a crisis isn't about showing strength, it's about having breathing room. It gives you options. Debt works the opposite way. When income drops but monthly payments stay the same, pressure builds fast. History shows that the worst financial decisions are often made in moments of fear, selling at the bottom, chasing rumors, trying to escape at any cost. Recessions eventually pass, but one bad decision made in panic can follow you for years. In the end, remember this. The economy is like the tide. You can't stop it from going out, but you can prepare before it does. Those who prepare ahead of time don't just survive, they position themselves to come back stronger when the next cycle begins. And that's what truly matters.